that.
Okay, sub-formatted. Okay, formatted question.
So there's no dashboard, right? It's all going on the same sheet, right?
All going on the one sheet, the month report.
Okay.
So
Let's hit play and see what happens. Compile
yeah,
error.
you can't do that. You have to have an underscore.
Oops, that's
Effective function variable. Okay. Okay. I don't know what's wrong with your thing.
It was doing this when I was doing the assignment. I kept running into the same problem.
Okay, are you
I don't know why. Yeah.
And you have it's already saved in the macaroni workbook, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So formatted question, formatted report. Okay, just take it where it says formatted report. Just start right there, and just make it so format underscore report.
Yep, that's what it says.
Pick up the extra TED. I don't know if it's being silly because of the way you named it. What? Just do super E in there. Delete E. Okay, now go to the end of report. Delete. Go over the message box. Delete. Backspace. Okay, are you sure you want to automatic format report? Yes, no format report. Okay, I'll say it's right. Let me make sure.
Okay, now it's giving me an issue
Okay.
on range.
No, go to range then.
Okay.
Yeah, oh, you didn't actually send me range. Delete. Now go equal to the end of J1 equals. And then your report format underscore report.
Underscore report.
Hit escape. Mama? Actually, testing my hair. No, I don't.
Okay.
Go clean your room.
Underscore report.
No. Equal. Okay, so look at my.
I took out the
So
equals.
it has to be range equals, I mean the full name of report. Copy the name of your thing where it says format report, copy that. Delete what? No, stop. Delete again. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna do this here. What does it have in your box? I thought yes.
Yes. Okay.
Go back to your thing.
Yep. So that worked.
Yes, but you have to go back to it and look at it.
Okay. Go back to the
Spreadsheet.
spreadsheet. Okay.
Okay,
Give
yeah,
me a
it's
6.
Okay. All right, let's have a prayer, I guess. You with this, Caleb?
Yeah, right. I'm with you, but I'm trying to get going here.
That's fine. Let's have a prayer, and then we could just walk over what it says from the beginning to the end, if that will help you.
Okay, hear me off that.
I'm going to go ahead and say a prayer.
Okay.
Our Father in heaven, we're grateful for the time that we have to be here and to go over this last mini project. We pray that we may understand the formatting and the coding that needs to be done in order to make the project work correctly. We pray that we may have thy spirit to with us at this time to be able to communicate with one another. We pray a blessing upon Caleb's wife, that she'll be able to feel better and have the challenges that she's having be eased. We are grateful for the gospel and the blessing that it brings to us in our lives, and the option we have to be a part of this wonderful educational program. And at this time, we pray these things in the name of thy Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Okay.
All right. So going over the instructions, I pasted them in here in this Word document. Did you listen to the video yet?
No, I haven't.
Okay. You want to take a minute and listen to the video, and I'll go use the restroom and come back, and we can jump in.
Okay.
Steve, just keep working on what you need to work on. I'll leave my editor up.
Okay.
So there's, I don't know if you guys want to. Before, okay, that's mine from the very beginning. I just put that.
So let's see. Range J6, range. Yes, that needs to be an if. Okay, so that needs to be an if range.
I have some cute girls. You get this one.
Equals 6 then.
No earrings, no chocolate, no shoes, no socks, nothing. It's solutions.
Range.
Well, that was exciting and informational.
Not good, huh?
Oh yeah, that was awesome. Okay, seems easy enough.
Well, the one thing that I started with doing is I just created a macro to format everything.
So, hey, I back. So what I found was best is if you create several different macros. I've got my screen being shared. I'm going to show you the drop-down list. So I have, like the first one that I created was the format table. But there's also supposed to be a question that we put in there that says that you have to ask, are you sure you want to format this map and this table? And we're supposed to have it say yes or no. And then based on whatever that does, the report will run. So I was having a hard time getting that to work right. So I created that in a separate macro. Because what you can do is once you've created, be quiet. Once you've created the other macros, you can just put the name in on the original macro. That makes
Okay.
sense. Okay. So let's see. Did you want to show your screen at all?
Yeah. Hold on 1 second. It works today. That's weird.
Was your thing not working the way you wanted it to the other day? Steve's was giving me a hard time too.
No, I was trying to share my screen, remember, and it wouldn't work.
Oh, that's right, yeah. All right, well, at least it's working now. So, yeah, just record. I would record what you're doing for formatting the report, and record that, and then record what you do to unformat the report as a separate one. Does that make sense?
Okay. So, let's see. Let me save it as a macro file first. Okay, so the format button is already supposed to be there, though, correct?
Yeah, that stays there the whole time. So if you see on Molly, I've got the format report button here, and it stays there the whole time. It doesn't move. If I unformat the report,
Okay. So start a macro then, right?
yeah, just start a macro. And then, excuse me. And then go through everything that you want to do to make it look right, like make it look how you want it to. Just tell it yes. Tell it yes to replace it because you didn't do anything in the other one. There you go.
Okay.
So you have to put in a, let me tell you what your format report should look like. You have to have a header box. So, like on mine, I have B3 through H3 as my header box. And then I just use the format cell styles for, once I got these other parts here done, I just use format cell styles for it to make my life easier.
The format what?
Have you ever seen the part where you can format, like change the cell styles? On the home tab, under styles, there's a thing that you can say for the style. And so I just used those pre-made cell styles for my office.
Okay. Okay, so if we're up here, let's make it a little bigger. So this would be what kind of a report?
Don't put a name in there. You program the name in later. Just leave it blank.
Okay.
Make the background the color that you want it to be. And then just make sure that your font is going to be, you can change your font if you need to.
So it's kind of hard to hear you.
Okay, let me switch where I'm at because I've got Steve's got his microphone on and stuff, and he's not. Let me switch it. Do you want to turn your microphone off, Steve? I'll turn mine on.
Mm-hmm.
And turn your. No, you didn't. Sorry. Okay, how is that now?
That's good.
Okay, sounds good. You need to come sit down. Oh my goodness, that's annoying.
So right now mine, they're trying to do an if range, but
Okay, hold on just a second.
Work that way.
All right, in your column D, you need to make your column D a little bit wider, it looks like. It doesn't, is it fitting everything right in column D?
Column D.
B, sorry.
It looks like it.
Okay, I just wasn't sure if it cut off the name for Jacqueline there. I think that's the name there. Okay,
Yeah.
all right, so now just format the colors on those and then you can end your macro.
You said you did this with the styles?
Yeah, I just used the cell styles function here on the styles menu. There's, you can just pick how it is because it basically gives you a percentage of the exact same color. It's just the percentage of how opaque it is.
Right.
Much easier to find.
So, yeah, it's super easy to do it that way because then you don't have to worry about it. So next to where it's conditional, no, okay, you're doing borders.
Okay, you're saying next to what?
In the conditional formatting area, in fact, yours is all the way open where you have all those cells where it says like note and linked cell and all that kind of stuff. If you click on that arrow
Okay.
next to note, yeah, click on that. There you go. Now you can choose a cell style that you want to use from any of those. I would use the ones down below, like where it says accent.
Yeah, that's what I did already.
Oh, okay.
So I ran my report.
Okay, so yours is great. Sounds good. So if you're done formatting, if that's how you want it to look, even if it's not, you can actually end your report now or end your formatting now if you, that's pretty good. Okay. Hold on one second. What's that, Steve?
Oh, I went ahead and ran the formatting, and apparently it colored the honestly more in the top green.
That's okay. That can be undone. We'll find where it's at in your code. Come sit by me though, so that he can hear your volume can be heard and everything on there.
What the heck?
Okay, so it looks like you have 2 modules made already.
I don't understand why.
You can go, so from that macro thing, if you open the macro box again, you can go and step right into the programming of the things. Did you know that?
Say it again.
So if you go to developer tab and then where it says the view macros, hold on, mine is blanked. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you go to macros, then you can, like any macro that you have, you can just say step into or run or edit. I mean, if you say step into, it'll take you straight to that macro. So you don't have to go through, I know that they showed us to go through the Visual Basic, but if you have a whole bunch of macros, it can be really confusing to get through that.
So where is this macro though?
Let me see.
I don't understand because when I was going to module 1 or module 2. Okay, so
Okay,
it's in
so
module,
module 1 is empty. You could just delete that.
yeah, I don't know where that even came from. Can you just delete it?
You should be able to. Dockable, hide, export. Let's see what happens if I add a module. Insert module. All right, view code, PVA, insert. So if I have it selected and I hit delete, nope, that doesn't do anything to it. Well, you can hide the module, I guess. Oh, that was the wrong thing to hide.
That's weird.
All right, this is getting very weird because I don't want it to do that.
Okay, I'm just gonna, I don't really care. So then format report.
What's the matter?
Oh, I lost where my thing on the side is. Edit and view. There we go. Whoa. I don't think that's what I wanted. Well, that's interesting. Found something new. Apparently there's an object browser that you can go through and view all the different things you can do in macros, and there's a lot. know what this thing here is called? What is that? What does that say? Project?
VBA project.
Okay. VBA project.
Okay. So
And Project Explorer. There we go. Okay.
formatting.
All right. Let me see where you're at on that.
Okay.
Okay, so there's some ways you can clean up your code there, Caleb. Do you see where you have like all the zeros
Yeah,
that
so
you
just
had?
that
So yeah, you can delete the extra lines there of code for all of that. Okay, your cell style is good, borders. So what you want to make it do now, with all of that is at the bottom of this, you want to get it to where it's going to ask you in a message box if the name of the month. You can put that at the end or the beginning. In the way that they wrote it here, it makes it sound like they wanted you to ask that at the very beginning of the thing. Let me read you what it says. It says, put a checkbox that is labeled formatted report somewhere at the top of the sheet. When the checkbox is checked, the computer should ask the user, are you sure you want to automatically format the report?
right.
You should be able to say yes or no in response to the question. If the user selects no, the report will not change, and the checkbox should automatically switch back to unchecked so that the report is not formatted. And I can show you, I did that in a separate macro because it was giving me a hard time.
Okay.
The next part here is if the user selects yes, it needs to ask, are you sure? If the user says yes to the question, then it's supposed to format the box. So you want to open an input box that asks the user what the current month is. After the user enters the name of the current month into the box, the computer should automatically put the name of the month into the larger title and header cell at the top of the report so that it is clearly visible for what the report is for. So I did that after I formatted everything else because I just felt like it was going to be a mess if I didn't. So mine is towards the end. Let's see. Okay, so I have here, it says input message month, input box month format. So I have the range name, so range B3 through H3, dot select. That means that it's going to select that range. When you put a dot select into your coding, it means that it's going to choose that range for you.
Okay, so you did it in the same macro then. Right?
That part I did, yeah. Because this is just typed in reporting, so I just put the little note here, the where it says, I made a green note, say input box month format, so I could see which one it was. Oh, it shouldn't be number, it should be name. Please enter the name of the current month. And I was trying to get it to where you could put a number of the month in and it would format the box, but it wasn't working out the way I wanted it to, so. Oops. I think I want it to go to AM1.
Mm.
See where you're at.
You put a title on the month box.
I did. Let me see what my title is. There it is. Okay, my title for the month box is what? Oh, no, that one. Okay, current month, yeah.
Oh, where it's got that at.
All right, what's your problem on your report?
Oh, I'm just trying to figure out how to make it so that it doesn't format all of the honesty warning as well, because it keeps it's formatting that. It's formatting that as part of when it's formatting my report. So.
All right, so let me see your. Give me your VBA coder.
I was just going through and trying to read all of the code. So it shouldn't be getting anything out of A.
Okay, so.
Or B.
AutoFit.
Through rows 1 and 2.
Oh. I have to take a phone call real quick. Hello? I am good. How are you? Yes. Evelyn. That's mine? Oh, hello?
Yeah, when I did my formatting, somehow I sucked in the honesty warning, and so it was formatting that green with everything else.
Oops.
Yeah. So I'm going through in the code and trying to figure out where that happened at so I can delete it out. Because it's either that or I'm going to have to just do it over again, which, to be quite honest with you, that almost seems easier.
Really? So you should, well, yeah, I guess it always says like with selection. It would be better if you put the actual cells it was selecting. Yeah, that's nuts. Oh, man.
All right.
All right, so I'm going through and just trying to find the code. It should show in the code that it's selecting.
Can you stand up for a minute?
A and D.
Okay. You're fine now.
Mm-hmm.
You can sit down. This thing needs to be oiled.
Do you think it's really going to help it?
Yes.
All right. There.
Just got a headache. Okay. How's it going, Caleb?
Not good.
All right. What's the problem?
Just don't really know what I'm doing as far as the input box. I don't know how to finish it.
It looks like it's right. You got the input box right. Month underscore box, input box. Please enter the name of the report month. Okay. And you. So why don't you try and run that and see what happens?
Okay.
You have to reassign your thing.
That would probably help. Nothing?
All right.
Okay, it's gotta be up towards the top.
The heck?
Try again on your button there. Try and reassign it again, like right click right where you're at.
Nope.
Okay, well, try and run it from in the macro first. Like go into the VB editor and see the play button that's above where it says general.
Mm-hmm.
Click that. Okay, put the name of your month in. Just type a few letters. Doesn't need to be anything special.
Okay.
Okay, did you have merge and center on your on that box? It didn't assign it to the box. So okay, here's what you need to do. See how you have down at the bottom first, you have range select, B3, through that kind of stuff.
Uh-huh.
So take that, like cut it so you can paste it down below. So X that. And then put it right under the month box because you're telling it the order to do things in. And then instead of saying dot select, put equals, take out the dot, there you go, equals month underscore box. All right, now try and run it and see what it does. Evelyn, you'll need to be quiet. We're doing something else.
Okay, I'm sorry. Try to be quiet. Just doing something else.
Okay, so let me tell you the formatting to write in for the merge and center. Hold on a second.
I did go ahead and put it in the formatting.
Okay, so you can either record this or you can type it in. The formatting may be up higher somewhere else. If you already did the merge and center somewhere, it may have gotten undone somehow. But if you do B4 through H4 dot select, looks like I already said faults on the merge cell. Hold on. You know what? I'll tell you how to do it easily. So go ahead and go out of that recorder right there. Go to your, there you go. Now hit your record macro. Now just title it merge and center, or just merge or whatever you want to do. Make sure you use underscores because you can't have spaces.
Sure. Okay.
Okay, now just select them all, hit merge and center. What does it say?
It's going to
Oh,
discard
yeah.
all the other values. It's fine.
Okay, and then just end your recording of your macro. All right, and then go back to your VB editor. Now you can either tell it to do the merge and center macro, right there with, like right above where it says month box, you could tell it to run merge and center, or
Okay.
you could just copy and paste it in. It's going to give them that error code if you have it after all that, so you want to put it before your month box, because otherwise they're going to get that error code every time. Hold on, you have the range. No, you have to undo that or put the range back. Yeah, start with.
And that goes right here.
Yeah. And then you need to go up and put the range in above that again, though. So you see where it says width, you have to have a range assigned to it to do that. Yeah, there you go.
No, it doesn't.
But change your equals month box to dot select, because that's telling it that you have that selection. There you go. So now try and run it and see what happens. Put a different month in or something different. try again to put a different month in just to make sure that it's running right. Okay, so that's working. Now you want to run your macro for unformatting it, which with the unformatting it, you have to, you want to make it sure that you change your column widths back to the original column widths, which is 7.86. You want to make sure that you change your row heights to auto fit. And you need to put all.
Like you did before with the clear all formatting and all that.
Say that again.
Can't you just do like we did with the last mini or the last last mini project where we did clear all?
You can't clear all because it'll take all of it out, but you can clear formatting. So yeah, just record a macro that does it. It's just easier if you record a small macro.
Okay.
So
clear formatting.
Yeah.
Okay, and then
so just
select it all, right?
Yep.
And then clear formats.
Yep. Okay, now you need to put the row widths back to how they were.
That's dumb. Okay, so what was you said it was 7.8.
Hold on. Go over where it says the format. Let me tell you which one it is. Oh, I wish my girls would be quiet. Okay. Yeah, in the cells part where it says format, you can select column width. It's 7.86.
Okay.
All right. And then make sure that you select row height to be auto fit just in case it gets grumpy later. So we'll go back to format. Go to row height. No, yeah. No, not that one. Cancel that. Row height, auto fit. Up one. There you go. And then
what about the
select all of your number cells. So select D6 through H20 19 or whatever that is. All right, and then go to your decimals and add 3 decimals back in. That's it. Okay, now you can end the recording. Now, if you go back to your editor, you should be able to take a look and see what it did down there. Make sure. Okay, so you see where there's the extra decimal parts where you have the zero. Yeah, take those ones out. Okay, now you can actually. Now's when you can start programming your ifs and thens into your original one. So. Okay, you have a cell there. Do you want to do the format question thing as a separate macro or as part of the overall macro? Because you have to have it. Okay, so you have to have it ask a question at the very beginning of anything. As soon as they click on your little checkbox.
Yeah, you sure you want to do this?
Yeah. So I recorded mine as a separate macro because I hadn't caught that at the beginning.
Okay.
But you can type it in at the beginning of it if you want. I just found that I felt like it was messing the whole thing up. And I was having to redo a bunch of stuff that by doing it the other way. So I went ahead and made a separate macro for it.
Okay, what should you suggest? What do you think would be easier?
I think maybe making a separate macro is easier. I think it's easier to keep track of them that way.
Okay. So then if we go and record a new macro then?
No, you can't record a macro for the message box. You have to go in and start the typing of it. And you have to like hard code it. So if you go to the very end of everything you have and hit enter a couple times and then type sub.
Yep.
And then space and then the name of what you're naming it. I named mine format _ question.
Okay. Like question formatting.
Yeah, but you have to have a underscore, no space. There you go. And then open close parentheses. Okay, good. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is tell it the name of the message box. Like if you give them, you're going to give the message box a name. So format underscore report.
Equal to.
Yeah. Now once you've given it a name, you have to tell it what it is. So it's a message box.
Okay, so like MSGBOX
Right.
equals.
And then once you've told it that it's a message box and you do the open parentheses, it'll give you like a little help thing. Yeah, there you go. So first you name it, then you tell it what it is, and then you tell it what it does. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So you
Okay,
name
so,
it, what it is, what it does.
so now it's going to be a yes or no.
Yeah, it's VB yes or no.
Okay, comma.
And then I just put the title of mine to be format report, question mark.
All right.
All right, now you want to assign a range to that. So underneath it, you put range, and then you put the cell information in there, range, open parenthesis, quotation. And at first you want to do it in a cell that you can see, so maybe you should do like K3 or something like that. And then you can always move your little box thing over it later, but you just type, I don't know if you can select K3 or if you have to type it in. I just type it in every time. Close let's see, close quote, close parenthesis. And then equals
Close. Okay, yeah.
format underscore report. So now you're basically telling the report that you've named, you're telling it why it lives. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Does that make sense to you, honey? Okay, and then you can run that right now, and it should pop up a question box. What does it say?
Says that my variable is not correct.
Okay, so format underscore report. Do you have an equals in there? I can't see it completely clearly.
Format underscore report.
Okay, so hit delete and put a make sure between message box and report that all there is a equal sign. And try it again when you're done with that. What did we do to get yours to fix that? Did it fix that problem for you, Steve?
Yeah, I just ran it and it worked.
Okay, so he had to redo some of it with his as well. I don't know if it didn't like the name, or what. I don't know why it was doing that. Format report equals message box.
I think I found it. Oh, maybe not.
Mine kept giving me an issue on the sub up here, though.
Okay.
That's where mine was giving me a problem.
Take out, what do you have after the question mark? Do you have a question mark? Then
Parentheses. And then
okay, no parentheses, just a question mark, and then the close quote, and then comma VB yes or no, comma the name of your box, which would be format report question mark. Okay, that should be everything. Try it again, see if it will work now.
Says unexpected function or variable or what?
All right, well, why don't you just try renaming everything that it has selected? Just type in, don't let it keep it selected, and just rename. Oh. Select from message box over to the beginning of your title, your name of your.
That?
No, yeah, left, not right, left.
Oh, I see. On the end of it?
Yeah.
His is different than mine, though. His is question.
And then just rename it.
Formatting.
To like.
Just name it the same name again, even.
Mine's
It's just,
formatted
there's something in there
question.
that it doesn't like. You can even just name format underscore report again. equals MSG box. Okay, and try and run it again. Okay, so change the name of your macro as well. Just change it to something different.
I have mine is formatted underscore question.
Yeah, mine is named format underscore question. I don't know why it's giving you a hard time on it.
I don't think it's the title. I think it's something within this.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's usually whatever it highlights when you run it. So if you run it again and it highlights something, that's what you want to look at. Because it highlighted something in blue before, and then it showed the which report it was in that was bad.
It just keeps on saying that the title, but I don't.
Hit enter. Oh, here, hit run for me real quick. Tell it okay. And then hit enter twice. Okay, now put a new name in. You can put the same name again. Let's see if you just deleted out everything it was mad about. Equals. And try and run it again. Let me see if mine is sub.
Okay, I think it worked. So I've got a box that pops up now. So are you sure you want to come out?
I'll go in our room. The girls can't go until the room is perfect, but somebody's coming to pick up. I'm still on my call, guys, okay? Pick this up, take out your bag of trash, pick up all around the bean bag and around your bed.
My bed's already done. That's organized. I'll show you. Evelyn.
So,
Can you hold on for a couple minutes?
yeah, okay.
All right, I'm back. Sorry about all the noise.
No problem.
Okay. Did you get it to work?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
If I run it, it pops up.
Yep, and tell it yes. Okay. Now, I don't know why when they have a yes, no question, it's responding with a number, but do you see where you have your cell assigned? It's responding with a 6.
Yep.
Ours is doing the same thing. It's really weird. But the next thing you want to program in is that that number there is going to change whether the cell that you have as J3 reads true or false, because that will change how your whole macro will run.
Okay.
So in your VB editor, you want to tell it, you want to put an if command in there. So if the range, and actually you can just copy what you have the range assigned to up there where it says you have already assigned range. What is yours? Range, whatever. Just copy the word range there and the, yeah, copy, and the K3. Copy all of that. So you don't, there you go. Copy that.
Okay.
And then go to the end, right before end sub. There you go. And do an if statement.
Name it.
If, and then paste in the word, the thing you just copied. You don't have it saying if. You need to make it say if, Steve.
Yeah, that's what I was doing.
Hit enter a couple times. A couple times. You don't have to be afraid of wasting space. Hit if, type if, space. Okay, that. So if that named range up there equals 6, then.
It gives me an error when I do that, though. I did
Okay,
that
just
earlier.
equals 6, then. Okay, now hit enter. Range, and now you want to use the number that you have for your true false thing. So Caleb, yours is J3. Steve, yours is what?
J6.
No.
Actually,
Okay, this should be if range J6 equals 6, then range K6 if you have it as K6. Is that what you have your other one linked to? You'll have to go up and check if you need to.
You got a spelling mistake on,
I have a.
are you sure you won't?
Oh, thank you.
mm,
My dyslexia has been bad this week. I've been bad.
I was
Okay.
pretty sure that I did it as
Click,
K6.
click right there. Click right there. Now watch.
Yeah, I was pretty sure that I did it
Does
as
it
K.
say? No, not yet. Okay.
There it is.
Yeah, K6 for yours. Okay.
So I need to change both of those to K6.
No,
then.
one's needs to say J6. So if
Okay.
J6 equals 6,
Then-
then range K6 should say true.
Range K6. K6.
And then you need to type at the very end of that, you have to say end if. Now try and run it. Say yes.
Equals
Okay.
True.
Whoa. Nope, you have it in a loop. Go back to your thing. Okay. So range. You have your number 6 assigned K2. Okay. All right. Do you see where it says K3 equals true? That should be J3 equals true. And the other
The
one should
last-
be J3. Yeah, so you
Right.
have it all referenced in the same cell. You have to have it referenced to the cell one left, which is J. So down under range, K3 at the
True, right? Or is it for the false?
right, else you need to make that also J3.
This one as well.
Yeah, that's correct. Okay, now try and run it. How's yours going? Okay, good. Now hit enter. Actually, yeah, get a
Cool.
little space in there. Okay. Now range K6, else, range K6.
Else.
Else. Nope. Colon. ELSE colon. Enter. Range K6. Equals false. Enter. Fix that. Okay, now try and run it again. All right, Caleb, when you run yours, is it changing?
Yeah,
Correct.
the false and the number.
No, it's giving me a.
Okay,
file
go ahead.
error.
You have to do end if at the end of yours. You have to change how your thing is viewing that, because right here, type end if. Okay, now try and run it and see what it does.
Yes. Yes.
Go back to your thing. Make this go sideways. There. All right. 6, true. Okay. Watch what happens. Hold on. 7. It didn't change. Well, maybe it has to change. Go ahead and run it again. Tell it no. And then go back to your other thing. Nope.
Right here.
Yeah. Get it to where if you select right there. Yes, it says false. Okay, so that's working correctly. Yours is changing true and false. Caleb, that's good. Okay.
I just need to-
So now what you need to do is plug that stuff in. So at the very beginning of your formatting, like your format table, put in the name for that macro we just made. You can copy and paste it if you want, but put in format question, however you named it.
Okay, so hold on 1 second. Say again what you were saying.
Okay, so go to the top of your very first macro you made, the long one.
That would be the formatting
Yeah.
report.
And underneath, right before you say this format the report, you want to type in the name of the macro you just created.
Right here.
Yes. Well, yeah, like right in there.
Format question.
Okay, and then just scroll down and make sure you got the name right, or open your drop down if you need to make sure you named it right. Basically, you want to make sure that the names match. Use your drop down now. Make sure it matches. Formatted underscore question. Okay. So you got that. Now the next thing that you want to do, you just gave it an if then for changing the box that is being controlled by your format, by your checkbox. So now you want to go right underneath where it says this formats the report and start an if statement.
Make the formatting question.
Yes. So if the range that you had, so mine is K6, whatever says true and false. Caleb, I think yours is J3. Yours, I think, is the same as mine, K6. So if that range is true,
So you think it's K3 or J3?
you're J3 on yours.
The one that's the number, right?
Nope, you want the one that says true or false.
I think that's K3.
Go double check. So if you click underneath the cell that you want to be in and then use your arrow key, you can get to it. So click like J5 or whatever, and then use the arrow up or down, whichever. There, go up, go one back. Left one. There you go.
False.
J3. So what you want it to do then is back in your VB editor, you want to say if J3 equals true, then hit enter.
And close parenthesis, close.
Yep, close parenthesis. And then equals, quote, true.
I hope I spelled it right.
Yeah, I know the feeling. All right, and then after that, space then. So this is your if then, just like we were doing in our bar up there, but this is doing it in hard coding. All right, so you want it to run the whole thing. So now we just told it that if that says true, run the entire report.
So then what you put run?
Okay, nope, it'll run it automatically. It already knows to do the whole next thing. All right, now go to the very end of all of that for that macro. Okay, and then you want to say else of that macro. And then you want to run your clear formatting macro.
And that's before end sub. ELSE. Okay.
Yes.
Semicolon.
Enter.
Enter.
And then your whatever format is clears your formatting. So yours is clear formatting. You can copy and paste that wording. Just don't do the parentheses. Okay, and then end if, right before end sub, you have to say end if. Okay. Now, if you want your cursor to go, the other thing you want it to do is you want it to, after it runs all of that, you want it to uncheck the box. So hit enter, and your range with the true or false in it, you want to change that back to false.
So range K3.
Yep, yours is K6.
Range
Open parenthesis, quote, K6,
K6.
close parenthesis, close, or close quote and parenthesis, however that's done.
Yeah.
Okay, equals false. All right. And then the very last thing I have in mind is I want it to rest the cursor behind my box so you can't see the cursor messing things up. So I just told it to very end range K5 dot select. And you can, that's totally optional, but so range something that's behind your box and then tell it to select it. But something that's not got any programming in it. You don't want to have it that's linked to everything else, because then if somebody hits something, it could mess it up.
Okay. So range
Dot select.
dot select. Dot select.
Uh-huh. Now, you should be able to go to the top of your formatted report, run it. It should ask you yes or no question. You can say yes, enter the month name.
No, compile error. It's right here. Okay, so range. There it is. There's the problem. I see it right there.
All right. That looks good. If I were you, Caleb, I would just drag my formatted box thing that you have now and drag it over where you see your
Okay,
faults.
so I didn't like the dot select.
Or, yeah, you would drag that over there.
You said dot select, right?
Yeah, it's dot. No space.
Okay, so if I click it, yes. Do.
I got a problem
Okay, so now I can click the box.
There.
Okay, so now let's make mine.
So now you should be able to check it again and tell it no, and it should unformat the whole thing.
And make it L3 though for my other box.
You might want to take it out of the 3. I wonder if you drag it, if it changes it. If you drag that box, does it change it in your code, or I wonder. Anyway, I'll find out on that.
Okay, so if I hit yes. Okay.
Have you guys figured out how to change the font size or no?
In this thing, no, I actually just made another box to go with it. So my button is totally separate from where it says formatted report. So the checkbox goes next to that, but they're separate. You see, I can move my formatted report thing, but the checkbox stays still.
Okay, so I need to figure this out then.
All right, what are you trying to figure out? What's the problem on yours?
I somehow included
okay.
that in there.
So let's see.
Okay, formatted report.
So undo formatting all the way. Did you undo the formatting all the way or not?
Yeah, I mean I can run the formatting.
Yeah, clear the formatting.
But it's not.
It didn't put that back because you didn't select clear the formatting on everything. Okay.
This one, so I need to go in and fix that.
Well, so what you're going to have to do is go through line by line and see where you selected it, that it goes the whole thing, that goes like A1. Here, you can Control
the
F.
thing is, I was looking for an
A1.
but it doesn't exist.
Control F. Quote A. A3. Okay. All right. That means that it's from when you select the whole thing then. Control Home.
I was wondering if it would be better to just create it over again. But.
No, let's just take a look here. So this first line here, this tells it that you're selecting B4 through I4.
Right.
This tells you that you're selecting all the way to the end. Okay, this tells you auto fit for your columns F and H. which you could always do auto fit for all the columns if you want, but okay. So this is, you're in the selection. Okay, so this is your top and bottom alignment, or your side-to-side alignment. This is your top and bottom alignment, which you may want to change those to center.
It would be nice if you could select in here and it would show you where it's at, like what
There may
it's
be a way to do
changing.
that. I just don't know it yet. Wrap text, orientation. Okay. Still in the same selection. Columns E, F, G, C, auto fit. Okay, so where you had this, see how you have all that extra coding for the auto fit there? You should actually be able to come up here and you should be able to say that you're in columns B through H and auto fit, and that should do everything. You don't have to change it out, but you should be able to select, like, let me show you what I mean. So if I'm recording a macro, hold on one second. If I'm recording a macro, okay, I'm gonna let it say macro 1. And I want it to auto fit everything. And I go here, I select all of that. And then I can tell it up here, format, column auto fit. All right. And then I come back and I look at my editor. And I go to macro 1, which may be in another module now. Yes, see it says columns B through H dot select, range B3 dot activate, selection columns dot auto fit. So you can do all of those at once if you want to.
Okay, so
Okay.
can I just change this from B to H, or?
You can, but then you'd want to delete out the others there. So and that's fine, change it B to H and then delete out the other things that say column auto fit. What you could do is you could use a Control F feature. Don't be afraid of spaces in here. Okay, all of those you can take out. Nope. Yeah, there. Okay, row height. Okay, B3 through I3 is selected. I3 activate, horizontal alignment. Okay. Now, when you run this, if this says bottom and you have things that you don't want on the bottom, it's going to be a problem. So all of these, like where it says general, you could change it to center. And if you want it top to bottom, you could change it to center. That makes sense?
Okay.
But if you're in that I3, you want it to be centered. That.
Should I change general to center then?
Yeah. Okay. So this here tells you that you're unmerging something. Why are you unmerging something? What had you merged?
Maybe it was up at the top.
Control F, merge.
I probably had merged the top for my
Selection
month
merge.
and did too big of an area, so I shrunk it back down.
Okay, well, let's see what the selection is then. That might be telling us something. With. Okay, so you see where it says, and Caleb, I don't know if this will help you or not. So if you see in your programming, hold on, Steve, don't go off that at all. Let me go back to the right module. So anytime that you have your programming, it's going to say you have your range, right? Like here I have range B4 through H4 select, dot select. Then it says with, and then selection and a whole bunch of information, and then end with. Anytime that it says with, you want to look up above that for whatever your range is that you're part of. So that way you'll know what that's programming.
Okay, so it always refers back to the range like way up above, or?
Yeah, even if it's way far down. See, like here here I have a whole bunch of different widths. So it's like with blah blah blah, then end with blah blah blah, end with, and that's how it works.
Yeah, that helped a lot. I was trying to figure that out.
Yeah, so
So it says width right here. Width XL medium.
Where?
Right here. Is that what you're talking about?
No, see the word width.
Oh, in width. Oh, in width.
Width, yeah. So if you see the word width, you want to say, okay, what's that doing? Like we were looking for merge, right? And we found merge, but we weren't sure what it was merging. So then if you go back up and keep looking above the width and end width, you look for range, that's what it's going to be merging. So this one here, where it says merge cells here, this one is merging. So that's a selection. Doesn't say what it's selecting yet. So you want to look for the word range above that. H3. So that's what that had done. So yeah, you had a mess up on a merge somewhere and you unmerged it. And then you fixed your merge. So, but we're still looking for how, okay, how you were accidentally programmed the top one. And with selection, unmerge, range, selection border. With,
Because when I created it, it didn't select that honesty
and
warning.
with selection borders with.
It was only after I ran it.
Selection merge, style. Okay, what selection is this though? I'm gonna look right up here for range.
Okay, so
And the way that it works, range is gonna be at the left. So range is H3. That shouldn't make a problem.
B3
B3 through H3. That shouldn't be a problem then. Range exit B4 through H19. That should be fine. Rows 4, 4. Range. Okay, it's one of these in here, I think. Okay, let's go through and delete out this extra coding here. So delete those out so it's just to the zeros, like take out those extra two. Take out those lines. Copy those two, select that line and the one above it, and take it out. Do the same down on these other ones to where it's just the one that's being programmed. Stop. No, I said, right. You want it to have 1 0.
right.
So anything that's having it more than 1 decimal point, take those out. All right, formatted report. Yes.
Like that.
Okay. Can I have the mouse? No, not like that. Like that.
That's what I was doing.
No, you reprogrammed it to say the same thing 3 times. Just take out the extra
I
line.
was trying to take it out though until we stopped.
There's a range. Go through this and everywhere where you see the word range, put an enter above it. You can hit Control F to find the ranges and then go in and hit enter.
Do a find and do the word range.
Yes. All right. Is yours working the way you want it to?
Yes.
Okay, and are we supposed to tell it like all done at the end? Is that what you're doing with it right now?
Correct.
Always
It's
report
pretty
should be back to what it
simple
was.
box. See if it works. Bam. Formatting complete. And if we do the other way.
Checkbox is unchecked, then the computer should automatically remove all the formatting. What direction number is that under? I just want to read what I'm supposed to do. Do you know?
That would be
The computer should, oh, here we go.
two.
Computer should notify the user something like say the report has been successfully formatted. Okay. You want that to say that before it does the unformat command.
Hold 1 second.
Okay, if then cell styles, border. Don't be afraid to use these green functions, Steve, to tell it what it's doing, because that's going to help you to decipher what all this
Green
is.
function.
See if you put a apostrophe and then type in, it will title the thing. Selection.
I would basically tell it what's happening when it does something. for example, formatted report.
Mm. Okay.
Mhm.
What's the purpose of doing the enter after range, or before range? Extra line.
Yeah, so you can see what you're doing.
Okay.
Isn't it easier to see it when there's a space between it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I'm going to put an extra box in that says formatting cleared at the very end.
Yeah, I think there's supposed to be a thing at the end that says that the formatting is cleared. I did that in my my macro that said no formatting.
Okay, let's run it. Yes.
Congratulations, you successfully created a report.
Uh-oh.
Um, that's interesting.
Oh, I see.
Input month. Oh, apparently I'd already done that. I love it when I redo things that I don't know that I've done.
Cool. Except for one of my things should automatically wrap, and it did not.
Okay, let me tell you, let me find my formatting line that talks about wrap text, W-R-A-P. The Control F feature works in your VB editor, which is great.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
so
pretty intuitive.
it is really good, yeah. So if you look at the range, like search wrap in yours, and you want to find the wrap that has to do with range B4 through H4, or B3 through, no, B4 through H4, yeah. So, okay, what's that one referring to?
Let me go back real quick. Dang it.
Wrap text true. You could just change all of them to wrap text true, but
Before, well, hold on. So B4, H19, B3 through H3. That's it right there. Oh no,
no,
it
it's
should be.
four.
Yeah, it should be the 4.
Okay, so do you see where you have that though? And one thing to be careful of when you tell it to automatically wrap text is sometimes it ends up cutting off words. I don't know if you've noticed that before, but like, so if I go here in my unformatted thing and select that line and I tell it to wrap the text, do you see how it changes tenure, company, and years? It's like, it cuts it all down.
Right.
So,
But that's unformatted though, right?
yeah, that's unformatted, but it depends. If you haven't told it what column width you want anywhere specifically, then that's what it's going to do. When you tell
Right.
it like, auto wrap,
So right here in my Visual Basics, I found it. So I've got wrap text true right here.
but what's the selection? That's just for H.
Right.
Okay, so here's what you want to do. See where the very top one says B through B? You're under, so it says, yeah. You can change that to B through H. You know what? Hold on. Undo that real quick. Don't make the change yet. Okay, now save your thing real quick. Like save your report.
Uh-huh.
Did you hit Control S?
I click save.
Click it on the main Excel sheet. I don't know if it works the same way from both parts.
Yeah. Yeah, it says.
Okay.
It says
All right,
main
good.
topic. Yeah.
All right, so now you can make the change because if it screws it up, you can go back to what you'd already done. So select it and change it to B through H.
And delete
Now
these,
take
right?
all those out. Yep. Now, horizontal alignment, center. Vertical alignment, center, good. Wrap text, true. What is the next one under wrap text? I can't read it on yours. Wrap text. Okay, orientation, 0. Add
So that's
indent.
telling all columns to.
Indent, okay. So,
Hold on, so
let's
the selection is B3 through H3.
You might have some last name project.
okay, so instead of it saying auto fit rows, what you can do is assign a column width to it automatically. So where it says like you did your B through H and it says auto fit, you can change it to B through H dot column width equals, and I have mine set to 10. I didn't do that. Actually, I just did that E through H is set to 10 because B and C are going to be wider, are going to be different.
So like that?
So, yeah, but then that's not going to make, because that's going to make your B and C. Okay, so what you want is you want B and C to be auto fit, and you want D through H to be 10.
Okay, so if we back up. Oh,
So
crap.
just change that one where it says column.
Oh, let me just go back to where I was at then. Okay, so this one.
This should be D through H.
D through H.
And that's column width equals 10. Okay, now the one what you want is above that columns B through C. Make sure you have your open and closed quotes the same. Okay. Dot entire column dot auto fit.
Column.
Dot auto fit.
That's not how you spell column. Dot auto fit.
Yeah. Okay, now we'll see what happens when you run your report. All right, search the word, okay, D through H, wrap text, true. Okay, so what you want to do then is you want to have it, that part that's there, like if you copy where it says from with to end with, copy that. Now go to the end of it.
The end of the whole module, or
No,
or
just the end of that. Just push the arrow to the end. Now hit enter a couple times. And you want to say range. Wait, do you have G4 selected under that? What does that say with G4? So your next one down there, is that what? I can't quite see it. Is it G4, C4?
Yeah, it's G4. So that's telling target bonus % of salary to wrap.
Oh, well then do that. So where it says G4 there, you don't have to do the other part then. You can just make it say B4 through H4, and it will wrap the whole thing. Not G4, B4, yeah. All right, now what happens when you run it?
Bueno.
Excellent. We
Super.
learned coding today.
So that sucks though. When I do it,
It doesn't delete out April. I had that happen in mine. I had to delete it auto. Let me see what I did for that. Control F, E4. Select,
no, it deletes. Oh no, it doesn't. Crap.
month, range before. Okay. Select.
Three.
Okay. You want it to enter when it's doing the no formatting. If you go to your no formatting thing and type in range B3 equals clear contents. Does yours clear the contents in B3 when you're done with it?
I gotta clear formatting after.
When you're done with it, you just want to make sure that it doesn't put a name there. Are you going to try and just change this back to red?
Yeah, but as soon as I format it, it's gonna change it back.
Okay.
I've already been doing that red before. As soon as I go here, and then I go to the format report. Yes.
Oh, well, that's why you have it giving color to an entire huge block of stuff. Do you see how it selected that huge block?
Why it's doing the whole.
Because you
Well, it
selected the
just
whole columns
totally
top to bottom.
changed all of my.
Did you save that before you started trying to change things?
I don't know. I have to do this over again, apparently. Maybe I can just do the coloring as a separate macro.
Yeah, that would work. But you have to find where it's messing it up in there and fix it. Or you could do
Throw it at the end.
Huh?
Throw it at the end. So it does it like this, and then after it does it, it
Okay,
fixes
I have another idea.
Back.
Yeah, if you go into the original one, resave it as a macro-enabled workbook, run the formatting that you want on the main part again, where it formats it to start with.
Okay, go into the original.
Go to the original, save it again as a macro-enabled thing.
Okay, but that's gonna.
Just listen for a minute. You're not gonna lose it. Just listen. If you save it as a macro-enabled thing, then run the macro for formatting it. Then copy the macro that you ran for formatting it to a Word document. Then go back into your one that you just did all that work in, select all the middle part of it, and paste what you had fixed. So it'll have the right kind of formatting in the middle. Does that make sense? Huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so here's the original one.
Yeah, so now just save it as a macro-enabled thing.
Mhm.
Just give it a new name, whatever you want to give it. Put -2 or something. All right, now, when you format this, don't select all the rows all the way over, okay? Just select your area through here that you need to do. So I would start with the column size, then go to auto fit and all that kind of stuff.
So basically what I'm doing is I'm redoing the formatting.
You're redoing the do the format part, but not the undo the format. Now hold on a minute. So make your plan of which order you want to do things in. But if you, like when you do these, B and C should be auto fit. D through H should be programmed what size you want it to be. So you can select B through C and auto fit, not the whole column, just the selection. Does that make sense? Yeah, record first though before you do it, but All right, Caleb, how's yours? Is it good?
Yeah. I think I'm done except for putting comments.
Where are we supposed to put? Oh, you mean in the thing all throughout?
Yeah, so it says for number 5, it says be sure to add appropriate comments to your macro code so that relevant sections of code can be clearly and easily identified.
Okay.
So I'm just going through and basically like where I put like to ask the question, I just put first ask the user if they're sure they want to format, and then if yes, this formats the report, and then we'll put if no, this clears the formatting, and
Okay, yeah.
I'm not going to
All
go
right.
through and split up all the little
Yeah.
sections and crap.
I've got that all done on mine. So go and select all of that and go up to the, nope, not that. There you go, down. Now go to column home, format, column width, and up one. Nope, up one. Tell it 10. Okay, now select B4 through H4. And you're going to go ahead and tell it text wrap. And change the position, so make sure that they're centered top and bottom and side to side, and then change your cell style. Okay, select your employees column and do the same to whatever cell style. Are you going to make the cell style the same for all of those or not?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess once you're done with this, we can jump off. Make sure you center that while you're in the same thing here. Center and center. There you go. Now go select your next thing that you're going to do.
I'll just center all of them right now.
That's fine. But do all your programming at the same time for them if you can.
Yeah.
There you go. Enter, enter. Okay.
Okay. I thought about going into software development and stuff like that when I was younger.
And now?
Being right.
Yeah, I did as well. And then I started and was like, I don't think so.
Okay, actually, honestly, after going through this, I'm thinking of doing software development.
That's funny.
Isn't it?
Yeah, I think that you could figure it out pretty easily.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I just have an eye to be able to grab those things and figure them out. There's good money in it. There's really good money in like the software stuff as well as like cybersecurity. I've been learning a lot about that for our other class. And
Oh yeah, yeah. There's a guy that was my. I grew up. He was always Brother Eberhard. When I was younger, and then he ended up being my Elders Quorum president a few years ago, and he worked for Citibank, I think.
uh-huh.
I don't know, pretty big bank, and he was the head of their cybersecurity, and they were paying him like $300,000 a year.
Oh, I believe it.
Just
I totally believe it. Like I was looking up because our other class, the business writing one, we're doing, you have to select a company that you're profiling and stuff. So I chose Northrop Grumman, and they are, like I was researching their cybersecurity portion of because they're a defense contractor. And their thing was saying that there's going to be like a shortage of 1.8 million cybersecurity workers by 2022. There's already a huge shortage, but like the need for it is growing way faster than the people that are coming out of college. So like on Glassdoor, it was showing their cybersecurity people are making like at least 100,000 a year, which is crazy.
yeah, that is.
Granted, if you have to live in San Diego to make the 100,000 a year, it's not the same as what you get if you're living in Idaho to make 100,000. It's like
Right.
making 60,000 in Idaho,
Right.
which is still, decent money to live in Idaho. It's just not as good as what 100,000 sounds like.
Yep, I would agree. So that's one thing my mom's kind of facing. She bought a house up there about a year and a half ago, and she was counting on disability holding out, and then that fell through.
Oh,
So
no.
she's going back to work, but to be able to even amount to what her disability would have been, she can't find a job that'll, that even comes close.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah, she's working at the Indian reservation as their
Column
I
height.
don't know. I think she's their CFO, or if not, she's just below that. But
Right.
just the pay is nothing, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Even, you know, somebody who's like a seasoned veteran, you know, CFO from California goes over there and their price, I mean, their pay is cut like in half just because what the pay wages are, you know.
Exactly. Hold on one second. Program the row height to go to a certain size. Like, I don't know what mine is in there. Row height, mine is 33. Yep, crazy. Well, how's your final going? Are you getting some good progress on it?
That should be it then.
I haven't started yet.
Nice. Well, when you start it, put a time tracker. Like I made a separate sheet in mine and put a time tracker in there, just with like telling it to capture the time now, and then I just take it and I put it into another cell each time when I start and finish, and that way you can show how much time you spend on it.
This whole thing.
Hold on. This is your old one or your new one?
No, that's why I need to close this. This is my. I need to close the other one that I have open.
Don't worry about closing the other one you have open. Just go here to the good one. Okay. Go to your Visual Basics. All right. Did it have it in the other one again? Yeah, that's the wrong one again. Go ahead and close the whole thing of the other one then, I guess. But it's gonna want you to save it. Just go ahead and save the other one, I guess. Hold on, can I see something?
Sure. Close that one.
Macro. Format report. Step into. Okay, go ahead and select from where it says all of the range. Yeah. All the way down. Copy it and then put it in a Word document. All right, well, I guess we can sign off then. So good luck with your final stuff. If you need anything, let us know.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, I have a pretty good idea what I'm gonna do, and I don't think it'll be super difficult to get it all figured out. I don't know. I think it'll be pretty intuitive and not have to take a super duper long time. So
Yeah.
we're allowed to like import data, right?
Data itself, I believe we are. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
that
it wouldn't
makes
make
sense.
sense
It
to have
shouldn't have to like type everything out.
Right, that would be ridiculous because if somebody's using this for their job and doing a huge amount of data in it, then, it'll be a huge waste of time.
Right. Yeah. So mine's basically just going to be like data that I'm already going to pull from another place, and then it'll just be like using boxes and macros to select it and